talk to me about crypto, because look, I started on a trading floor in 1993. I was 22 years old. I was working at Bankers Trust, and I was trading this big fixed income derivatives book. Started on the swap book and moved to other exotic books. And so the first day, they literally handed me 2 phones, because everybody had 2 phones back in the day. And they said, this button goes to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where you're going to trade Eurodollar futures. This button goes to the Board of Trade, where you're going to trade bond futures. This squawk box is for the guys down there, 100 feet away. And this is how you trade your treasury notes, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. Go. And I was just like, what are you guys talking about? And everybody's shouting down things. On top of that, I had derivatives brokers that were shouting down on speakers. And I got a real good education over the next few years of what it was like to trade fixed income markets, okay? And that was a little crazy, but that's nothing compared to crypto markets. Now, you said you had a background in FX and probably a bunch of other things. How can you explain to people how these markets differ, FX, stocks, fixed income, to crypto? And you clearly love what you see in crypto. I guess you see a bunch of just all this opportunity, but they're so different because Monoquant's designed for crypto. So you're kind of an OG guy. You've been around. And I think a lot of the younger guys in crypto look to the guys with a little gray hair. So tell me, because you've been running these models, for decades.
What I love the most about these models is the price action. There's always movement. So, you look at equities, they don't move a fraction in general over the year as much as crypto can move in a week. And if you want a good analogy for more of the gray hair people, if you look at, 2010 when we had that, say bank, I don't want to say their name. There was a fat finger accident and the market flash crashed, massively. Didn't matter. I was a derivatives trader then. I actually was listening to the squawk box, the outcry, and I remember my father saying there's no good chaos or something like that. So I was like short, and it was a great trade. But that type of price action I see every week in crypto.
Right.
So
that was the S&P gapping down and went back up because of a fat finger. Somebody put it in order a few points off.
I shorted the derivatives products.
Okay.
I shorted the E-mini with the max leverage I was allowed to, and my broker, I couldn't exit it. My broker called me. He's like, you're up 69 handles and 79, whatever, something stupid. Never ever going to make a trade like that in the real market.
A handle is like a big figure.
Right? If you made 8 handles on a trade back in the day, you were great. They never ever had anything like that in a split in less than a minute. And he's like, do you want to exit? I was like, sure. Market order. I was like, just take it right off wherever it is. It's great.
That's good discipline too.
I've never had a broker that excited and shocked that I made that much on it in 30 seconds. I was like, this is the best trade of my life. This is crypto is a little different beast, but in the traditional markets, I will never beat that.
I hope he took you to the next game.
Peter Thiel took $500,000 and turned it into $1 billion using the exact same techniques we're using inside the investment club. He met a CEO, his name was Zuckerberg. He pitched him the deal and he said, okay, I'll give you $500,000. Mark went public and sold the shares to people like you. Well, what happened to Peter? Well, he exited and got a 2,300x return. The wealthy invest in early stage companies, folks. The public markets are for suckers. It's a rigged game. By the way, this happens in crypto as well. It's called pre-sale tokens. This is Solana. Does anybody know this chain? They sold pre-sale tokens for 4 cents. And you can see the date on there, April 5th, 2018. Look at Solana today, folks. That thing's up over 1,000x. The media and Wall Street and all these hype people get you to buy the top. Meanwhile, they put their clients in at the bottom and they use you for liquidity to make their clients rich. You can play this same game. You just have to have the financial education and the deal flow. That's it.
My bonus was not appropriate for my win. We could say that.
All right, so we were kind of talking about traditional markets. The volatility there is a fraction of what you see in crypto. And so when you see in crypto, there's just so many opportunities because there's so much volatility and so many gaps and so many price discrepancies. This is why you wanted to focus Monoquant on the crypto market.
I love the price action in crypto. There's always movement. There's so much, opportunity. And as long as you trade coins that are legitimate projects that will stand the test of time, you don't have to worry about it, flashing, zeroing out and not coming back. So if you just trade what I would refer to as the majors, same way in FX, you have the majors. So, take the top 30, 40, 50, 100 projects, as long as they have, real tech behind it and you trade them, you should be fine.
Okay.
But the more the market ages, the more it respects technicals and all these types of indicators.
Okay. This has been a pretty crazy year for crypto. Obviously, Trump was elected. We saw new highs. Then we saw some crazy lows on the back of maybe some tariff stuff. Then we saw a brand new high last week. I mean, is this an amazing time to be trading?
It's a great time to be trading.
Intelligently.
Try to limit your emotions. Don't be too greedy, which is sometimes something I have with my discretionary book, which is why I try to rely more on the algorithm stuff, because I'm always looking for that extra point. Even if I get in at the absolute bottom, I was able to load up on some Solana at 97, 98.
Ooh, wow.
So I was very happy about that.
That was February or something?
It was around February, March.
Yeah, I remember when that crossed the 100 mark. And,
I got rid of them.
Everybody talks about buying then, but nobody actually buys them.
I literally got rid of my Miami car coincidentally the week before, and I was just I'm going to buy as much as I physically am allowed to buy at this time. And I think it was buying from 97 up to 107, just fully unloaded.
Okay.
And
you traded your car for Solana.
I basically traded a car for Solana. I was pretty happy about it. It was a good deal.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.